What's going on, YouTube? Well, we finally finished Nightmare inside of Bag for Blood. Here we have the Act 4 deck that I used in order to finish it up quickly. I wish I could have used a deck like this throughout the entire run of Nightmare. And arguably, if you had a solid team with you, maybe traded a few cards out, this could work well for you. Because I'll tell you right now, Special Infected, they're getting melted. The boss himself, absolutely melted. It's a deck worth using once you finally make it to that Act 4 and Nightmare. Now, if you'd like to copy and paste this deck, I'll have it down in the description below, listed in order by name, but we'll start off with Hyper Focus. We're getting that weak spot damage in quickly. Padded Suit, and one big thing about this is we'll be able to use this entire deck, so the order of this, it really doesn't matter all that much. We're just throwing in DPS and survivability, so we got 10% damage resistance, 5 health. Silver Bullets just adding to that bullet damage. Right after that, 7.5% on that bullet damage. Ridden Slayer, maximizing that weak spot damage. Reckless Strategy, amplifying this all the way to 100% when it comes to the weak spot damage. Stock Pouch, since the sniper rifles have so much damage, this was my ideal choice, especially since I was soloing this. Would arguably say it's a lot easier if you go about it with teammates. The damage is still going to be real. The Special Infected can possibly one-shot you when it comes to the Bruisers, Tall Boys. Whatever reason, when I rolled into Nightmare though, Corruption cards were barely there. But the damage was still real when it came to the Common Infected or anything in general hitting you. But right after that, reload drills, we're just maximizing that reload speed for this. Obviously, the sniper rifles aren't exactly the fastest when it comes to reloading, so we want that, especially when it comes to those certain moments where we just need to lay down that DPS on those weak points on the side of that giant Ridden itself. Glass Cannon right after that, just adding to that 25% damage. We want this to be an absolute melter. We want the maximum damage we can output with this. And right after that, Canned Goods to kind of help alleviate that 30% health loss. Like I said before, it's still Nightmare. Damage is still real, and things can go wrong just about any moment. You get more than one or just a few Common Infected hitting you, you'll feel it and you'll notice it. Now, Patient Hunter right after that, just to add to that 30% more damage when it comes to aiming down sights. Since we're using sniper rifles, we'll be ADS'd a whole lot of the time, so we'll be maximizing or gaining a lot of that benefit from those 30% damage as well. As well as just gaining a flat out 10% damage increase as soon as you aim down sights when it comes to some of the Special Infected that may be moving in closer. And trust me, you'll be getting close to the point where you'll either 1 to 2 shot these, 3 shot them if you're using the Phoenix and not hitting the weak spot. I mean, the damage is real when it comes to those sniper rifles. Motorcycle Jacket right after that, just gaining a little bit more of that damage resistance. Chemical Courage, just adding to the DPS, since we're going to be using pain pills as our only source of healing, unless you got a doc with you, or the bots. Sometimes they'll heal you, but not always the case. They're very unreliable at certain times. It's random when they'll decide to heal you, but sometimes they'll give you that helping benefit. And at the same point, they'll be running Inspiring Sacrifice if you do solo this, so anytime one of them goes down, you're gaining that healing factor times 3. Right after that, Stimulants, again boosting the fact that we're using pain pills, just gaining move speed, reload speed, and weapon swap speed. With this build, obviously, since we're only using a sniper rifle, when it comes to the Common Infected, you want to pick up something like a Tech 9 or Glock Full Auto, just to help clear some of those out. Definitely not going to be able to use that sniper rifle to clear out some of those Common Infected, so you'll need to swap pretty quickly, and some of those moments can get pretty hairy. They get close to you, pop those pain meds, get that damage up, boom. Be able to swap over quickly, take out what you need, and Cross Trainers to finish it all off, just to gain some stamina regen, a little bit more health, and some move speed. You'll need it from certain time to time. Especially if the common horde's coming after you, you've got one of those tentacles slamming down on you. You want a little bit of that stamina to kind of move out of the way, push yourself into a nice position, and then clear out. Now, that's the deck that I used. We'll showcase the gameplay here. I won't do a voiceover for it. Essentially, I feel as though, most people know how to play through Act 4. There's no real absolute strategy. Generally, it's all based on what the deck is and how much damage the deck can deal. But at the same point, if you're looking to kind of figure out what might be the right way to do it, you'll see as I go through the gameplay. It's very simple. We're just hitting the weak spots. We're taking out some of the special infected that'll be coming by. There's a couple of explosive barrels to take out some of the common infected to give you a little bit of breathing room between those tentacles and taking those out. And that's about it. Fairly easy. Act 4 is the easiest portion of Nightmare by far. It can go pear-shaped. I did try it a few more times after that just to see how much supply points I could gain out of it, since I'm at the very end of the supply lines and everything's 250 supply points per time. But more than a few times, things did, common infected got to me, special infected got to me. If one of them grabs you or one giant pack just gets on top of you, that's a rip right there real quick. So that's one thing to look out for. But if you have any questions about maybe some possible Nightmare decks coming in the future, I will be working on some of those, but we're also, Vanguard just launched. I'm going to be doing a bit of that, trying to level up some of those weapons, get ready for the Pacific map later on. And we've also got Battlefield 2042. If you're looking for these kind of gameplay footages, content from that, let me know down in the comments if that's something you would like to see. Maybe use some tutorials on how to use the helicopters inside of Battlefield. So I know in the beta I had a very troubling time with it, but if that's something you're interested in getting a little bit more knowledge on, maybe it's something you can't just grasp. I know it took me quite a while to just figure out how to fly it. Definitely still need to figure out how to aim the helicopter and use its weapons properly, but we'll get that in due time. But on that same point, if you'd like to hear anything about Vanguard, meta weapons, predictions on what would be the meta weapons coming forward inside of the Warzone integration, things of that nature, just let me know down in the comments, and let me know. I will also be coming back to Back 4 Blood, trying to make some Nightmare builds, trying to get some groups together for Nightmare to kind of test out these builds and see what could be viable besides a mobility build. Hopefully soon enough they'll do a patch that just nerfs the spinner and the hawker and gives a little bit more breathing room and less common or less special infected spawn at the increased rate it already has inside of Nightmare, because it is beyond ridiculous, and a lot of times the RNG of how many special infected spawn is generally what determines your run possibly being viable or survivable in that same manner. But on that note, we'll get straight into the gameplay. If you'd like to see Vanguard content or Battlefield content, I'll have a link to the in the description below to my Twitch. Follow me over there. We'll have content coming for that soon, as well as the Back 4 Blood. It's going to be a bit of a toss-up. I'll have different content every day. I'll also have some content for Vanguard today on my first impressions, what I believe are going to be some of the weapons you want to use early on. Just let me know down below if this is content you want to see more of. But we'll get straight into that gameplay, and hope you guys have a good one. Here's to the end. Armored stock, that's it. This is what they throw at me at the Act 4. This is it. Try to work on Nightmare builds, I guess, until tomorrow night.
It's gonna end. Might as well be in a giant worm tunnel. Heading in now.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm still standing. In fact, I can't believe I still have legs.
Rogers didn't make it.
What do you say we go kick that thing's butt?
Best to get what you need here than trying to find it out there. Could use that.
There's like barely any common infected out here.
LMG!
We are engaging the creature. My God, the area's riddled with tunnels.
Cover me! Reloading!
Looks like calamari for dinner. Incoming! Get out of the way!
Look out!
Let's get it!
Too much attention.
What's up, Crusher?
Use a down!
Shotgun here.
Reloading! Shoot the head!
Reloading!
No turning back now. Let's end this.
I'll take that.
You're kidding me.
Sorry there.
I mean, we're not doing right. Hands on here.
I'm ready to you.
Crusher!
Weaken him!
Creeper!
Damn you!
Let's get it!
Cover me! Reloading! Down the rush now! Running! It's running!
You see it?
Shoot it now!
We're on our way.
Nearly done! Reloading! Hero!
You're going down.
I think they like you a little too much. Here, let me help you. I got it.
Reason why.
Crusher, over there!
Whoa, whoa, what's going on? That's my aim keep locking like that.
Bandages!
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Mm-hmm.